what's going on out there in internet land? It's your boy RC and the place to be coming at you one more time for these live streams. If you want to listen along live, I'm trying not to get in trouble with the copyright laws, so we got to stop the music, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to keep listening with me, hit that station head link that you can get into the description. And, but yeah, so you can listen in live with me in real time as we go through the absolute best of hip hop in the last month or a couple of months. Just the current state of what hip hop, the dopest of what hip hop sounds like to me. Okay, to me. You know what I'm saying? So get with it, act like you want it. I'm about to just get into some fucking injustice. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's press play. So, just to get it started off proper, of course, we got to start with the song everyone's talking about. Good credit. Depot credit. It's like, wait, is he telling us? Can you just do that? Can you furnace a house? Is he giving game away with this track intro? Like, what's going on here? Gotta look this up. Is she gonna let it slide through? Fraudulently over it. And then selling those appliances. I'm just seeing it online on Genius. It's like, oh, this is a guy who's fraudulently opening a Home Depot credit card using a stolen credit card, using the card to buy expensive appliances, and then selling those appliances to maximize profit. I thought it was like, furnish your own house. There's like this cheat code to do it. No, this man running scams. I was like, oh, goddamn. Okay. I caught a ride. I fucked around in Cino. Like, just such uneventful rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Like, my thing about this, okay, so I've been listening to, the discourse, you know what I'm saying, to hear what people are saying, you know what I'm saying, trying to take in people's perspective. And to tell you the truth, like, when people do that whole thing of like, oh, man, like, if this sounds whack to you, look, it's just different generations, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a paradigm shift in what's going on in terms of, like, what rappers are doing. And, like, I'm sorry. I feel like we had whack shit 10 years ago. We had whack shit 20 years ago. Like, I think this shit's just not that good. And, like, you can have party music that's, not that deep. As a matter of fact, I'm about to play some in a little bit. Some stuff that I don't think is necessarily that deep, but I think still, like, is a good, you know what I'm saying? A good vibe, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, Kendrick comes in and fucking demolishes the track. It sounds like it goes into a different key or some shit. Like, it's just like, did they record these on different, like, levels of, existence or something like that, you know what I mean? Fool. That fucking laugh. He's a fucking madman. I'm sorry because I got it up the muscle, dog. God damn. Now, here's my thing about how Kendrick is on this track. I feel like people always forget, like, Kendrick is a chameleon. Like, he doesn't just do, like, smarty art raps the whole time. He's like, he listens to what the track is doing and goes like, how can I blend with that? Because if you notice, he's kind of like pulling back on some of his raps too, in terms of like, having little points where, the track is allowed to breathe a little bit more, kind of like I'll play what Cardi do, And then you get to a line like this where it's like, I think this is what really like, okay, I will say this. That's how you should like it. Yeah, moving the button. And it's like, my problem with this track is that, like, half of this track is really interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, the intro, then Kendrick's verse, and Playboy Cardi, I'm sorry, he's just not saying anything. And then I forgot. He was on, You Made My Earthquake, Earthquake. I was like, oh, yeah. And I also had that same feeling of, like, yeah, it's just uneventful. It's like, I just don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be cool if it was like, I feel like the most that's going for it is like, oh, it's kind of an interesting voice sometimes. But like, and again, maybe I need to listen to it a little bit more. But like, from what I heard from the album that I listened to, like the Iron Music, I was like, well, let me give it a chance. I don't want to just like be like, oh, it's, look, you know me, I'm always someone who's trying to give like an artist a chance, But when I listened to it, it was just like, oh, this is like, it just feels like a lot of people say like we got Travis Scott at home, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, it's hype boy shit, but it's not even like the words he's saying are not incendiary and are not pulling at you enough to really feel like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what we want from like a shit talker, even if you're not being the most high minded motherfucker. The idea is that you're saying some fun, colorful shit that you wouldn't hear anyone else say, you know? And it's like from the songs I've heard, like I said, maybe I need to hear more, but this latest album, every time he came on, I was just like, there is just a voice buzzing around this track and it just kind of doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, like I said, I'm not saying it needs to be like the deepest shit ever. Shit, the track we're listening to right now is a Weekend track, and it's a Travis Scott verse. And I listened to it, I was like, you know what? This verse is like enough of its own dope thing that like, yeah, it's worth like the buildup of the drop that comes into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Travis Scott, not exactly my favorite, you know, but I can appreciate, you know, when they're doing something that's eventful that still feels impactful. And that's my problem with any of the verses that I hear from Playboi Carti. Like, they're not impacting me. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like people are kind of doing this thing, the sort of defensive thing of like, oh, someone that I like is being like criticized for, you know, noticeable flaws. And it's like, oh, well, it's just not for you. Oh, you unk. Oh, it's this or it's that. And it's like, I really do think it's just like, yeah, but didn't people say that 10 years ago about some shit that was whack that people wanted to make excuses for? Didn't they say that about shit 20 years ago that was whack? That was like, I think the common denominator here is that sometimes some shit is just kind of whack. Like I said, you know, I was right there with you when the Lil Nas X joint came out. You know what I'm saying? That was the new shit. You know what I'm saying? And I fucked with it because it sounded really dope. You know. And my problem with a lot of the Playboi Carti is it just feels uneventful. Like it's just kind of happening, and it's like, okay, like this is fine. This is background serviceable. It's fine, but it's not impacting me. You know what I mean? Oh man. Oh yeah, did you see the new Final Destination Bloodlines trailer? Look, I just saw the like there was someone that was using it. I think that's someone who passed on already, and I was like, okay, why? Is it cool to use this person? Axel Lloyd Kendrick just kills tracks and then goes, all right, guys, I'm gonna go tip my garden and spend time with the fam now. Bye. Huh? And you know, there was also the conversation people were having about like, oh, you know, is it cool for Kendrick to do this track with your boy Playboi Carti, like knowing that he's like a disreputable individual, you know what I'm saying? And like, I feel two minds about that because first of all, it's like it feels like kind of like a trying to pull at someone by looking at the person they're affiliated with. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all remember when that happened with ContraPoints where it was kind of like oh, someone did, voice for a video that you did, and they didn't really platform their ideals, but the fact that they were on the track is kind of like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? It was that sort of thing, and it was like, well, like, it feels like, you know what I'm saying? You just, like, I get the concern, but it feels like how is this materially, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, just in terms of, like, just in terms of, like, and that's also how I feel about it, too. Yeah, that was the other thing, where it's like, there are a lot of people that are on that album, and I feel like not everybody knows everything about what everyone does all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times have you, like, worked with someone, collaborated with someone, and then you heard out they were kind of a piece of shit, you're like, oh, well, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that not a possibility as well? Because, like, I didn't know anything about what the hell was going on with them. And then it's like, it feels like that thing of, like, you know how people, like, it feels like a game of gotcha, right? Where it's just like, oh, oh yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you heard that guy was cool, yeah. You did this shitty thing. It's like, so now you get like it's tough now. It's just like, well, hold on, did we all sign up for you know what I'm saying? I agree with everything someone does if I enjoy some of the joints that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Or like if I enjoy like, oh, this person's you know what I'm saying? Contribution on this person's type of joint. And again, I feel like it's a sliding scale because it's like with R. Kelly, it's kind of like, how could you guys not have known? But like with someone like Playboi Carti, it's like, I was very easy. Like that guy was around for like years, like maybe like 8 years at this point, and I don't remember hearing anything about him. It wasn't until just recently where people were like, oh yeah, did you hear about like right now, like if you don't know about what had happened, you're just like, yeah, what does it matter? And someone's collabing with someone, and then, but when I heard the specifics, I was like, oh, this guy's a deadbeat dad. Like, oh, okay, like I heard about that, and then it was like, oh, he had apparently like choked his pregnant girlfriend. It's like, oh, ooh, that was like particularly kind of like, yeah, that's bad. You know, allegedly, I don't know if it's been proven in the court of law, but that's the sort of that's the word. And oh yeah, and, sorry, I had to include this Drake song. I'm sorry, it works. Look, if it works, I'm gonna throw it on. Like, I'm just here for the music. I don't care about these motherfuckers personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the failures or wins they're getting, the shit worked. And so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna act like, oh, I can't rock with it just because I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Again, sliding scale of everything and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I legit don't feel like playing no fucking Kanye West anymore because like, holy fucking shit, I don't want to contribute one red cent to that shit. You know what I'm saying? But going back to the facts of the matter, and again, you know, if you don't agree, like, let me know your rhetorical reasons why, and let's have a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like, in terms of when people were kind of trying to have the conversation about like, oh, you know, because it's like, oh, is it okay for Kendrick to do this? Okay, well, you know, you're not talking about the other people. Okay, but I get it because Kendrick specifically makes this track, you know, makes 4 tracks about how, I mean, we're gonna call out, you know, Drake for being a pedo and, you know what I'm saying, his shitty, like, being a bad father and shit like that. It was like, which I get on that level, but, and again, there's a two-pronged way I feel about this, right? Because on one level, I feel like, in terms of the diss tracks, it's like, you know, again, I feel like there's audience when it comes to why somebody did something, right? Like, we all know the reason why Kendrick did what he did isn't because, like, you know, he was trying to, like, I'm actually going to expose all of Hollywood and all the shit. It's like, no, it was because, oh, this guy's fucking with me, and then he wanted to take it further. Okay, I'm going to show you how I can really, like, take this shit further. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where the thing I would say, like, well, are you really trying to say you should be doing that with everybody? It's like, no, this was someone who specifically wanted to start shit with him. There's a specific context to why I'm calling you out right now. That said, when now I have to ask, was this leaked or was this not leaked? The Watch the Party Die track. That was the track where you could make the point where it's like, well, this doesn't feel like a diss track. This feels like oh, we're about to expose all the motherfuckers out here. We're about to expose all the, you know, creepos and fuckboys. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I heard that track, because it was like, you know, we're like, these motherfuckers die. Like, and when it starts getting real, like, oh, wait. Because, again, I'm willing to take it like this is entertainment. You know, it's just entertainment at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking towards, you know, my favorite artist to, you know, say the dare no shit like that. But, you know, it is interesting music, the reflection of the times and all that fun, sexy stuff, you know. But, my point being is that, what the fuck is the point I was gonna ultimately bring it back to? Oh, yeah. So it's like, for the diss tracks, I kind of feel like, holding them to like, oh, you need to treat everyone with the same energy. It's like, no, this is a particular instance where someone wanted to start shit and I returned fire. But then when he did the Watch the Party Die track, where it felt like, well, this isn't just a diss track. This feels like a statement of, you know, a sort of purpose or something like that. So that's where it kind of feels like, well, are you trying to, like, do that now? Because with the other track, it felt like, oh, we were just trying to, like, fucking really clown on this motherfucker since he really wants to fucking bring it, you know what I'm saying? And fucking Kenny gonna bring it to you, you know? But see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is vibey, just chill, bullshitty. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that deep. But it has this interesting idea of like, okay, we chilling on a yacht. Okay, I get that feel. I get that white wavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me in the mode of what it needs to be with what the vocals are. You know, with what the vocals, what the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? What the beat is giving me. Like, I'm feeling the whole wave. I'm feeling the yacht rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the music and how it's so smooth and flowing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, it's okay to make mainstream not that deep shit, but I want to, like, feel it. I want to feel like I'm dropped into the experience of that. You know what I mean? The reality of that fun or what you're having, you know? Going to a Tribe Called Quest though. Okay, so here's what I think about a Tribe Called Quest. Okay, I appreciate what a Tribe Called Quest is. All right, in terms of being like, expanding the sound of hip hop. Taking the upright bass. You know what I'm saying? Like what everyone was just using normal bass lines and like what I'm saying, electric bass, and using the upright bass in the different sort of color that brings the sort of funk in the groove. You know what I'm saying, of a hip hop track. I can definitely appreciate Tribe Called Quest, especially Q-Tip, especially the production. Oh my god, I fucking love Electric Relaxation. It really is one of the greatest rap beats of all fucking time. But my problem with that group has always been, it felt like the dopeness of the beats kind of overtook the conversation of the actual lyrics, and it felt like that was like prime example of that. Where some of the rappers like, they're not saying anything, and it's not even like a fun sort of like, oh, they're being silly and they're not saying anything. It's like, this is really like, this isn't anything. This isn't clever. You know what I mean? And there's one or two of those tracks on here again where the beats outweigh the lyrics, but I definitely made some executive decisions and included some solo Q-Tip tracks because, come on, a Tribe Called Quest is just Q-Tip. Like, Fife is never on anything, and I think there was another guy, but... Yeah, I know the game is fucking rough as fuck. Yeah, never mind all that. Never mind all that. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I be doing that be making it look different. Whatever the fuck. So we just vibing. And no one ever seems to have any, like, this internet shit really is the wild, wild west. It doesn't seem like there's an actual legit fix. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's just fucking internet magic. Just hope it works this time, and if not, buy a more expensive one, Anyway. Yeah, of course, some JPEG Mafia. Which, again, the awkwardness of him, like, posting a picture of him with Kanye West. But again, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, well, it's not like he's, like, pushing his ideology. It's like, when you listen to what he's saying, it's like, yeah, he grew up inspired by his beach, which is, okay, I get it. And so it's like, well, regardless, he still means something to me as, like, a person who, was innovative and whatnot. It's like, everyone's gonna have their personal limits for what they think is acceptable, but for me, it's just like, once you start pushing Nazi shit, that's the line. Like, because then where is the line? You know what I mean? Oh, I only draw the line when you kill babies. It's like, come on, we gotta draw a line somewhere, guys. But again, at the same time, it's like, it's not like JPEG Mafia is saying it himself, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually agree with it. But he's just doing like that sort of like, well, it still means something to me, and I can't act like I don't owe something to him, You know what I'm saying? It's one of those like, okay, whatever, JPEG. All right, all your heroes are cornballs, so I guess you're honest. But yeah, shit, how many combos have we gone down at this point? Oh yeah, because we were talking about A Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, again, like, I don't 100% hate him, and I totally get why people enjoy him, again, because it's the beats. But, like, I don't think that a, masterpiece makes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's definitely dope, but I feel like oftentimes we can get caught up in, like, because the beats are dope, we kind of allow some shit to slide by. Is this a new argument I'm making, or is there some parallels in some new artists that we're talking? What? See, that's the thing about me. Like, I'm not on, I'm not on the old school music side. I'm not on the new school music side. I'm on the, I don't know. How does the music strike you? Why do you feel that way? You know, I'm on that side. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I do think, like a Tribe Called Quest is, better than a Playboy Cardi on the whole in terms of like how they, prove themselves as artists. But what I mean is, it's like there's levels to this shit, and I feel like a lot of times we don't like to have that discussion because it's so much. Well, you're either a hater or you love him and you're uncritical. You know what I'm saying? Either you're a hater and you weren't gonna like him anyway, so anything he says is disregarded, or you love him and which you're just kissing ass and always making excuses for any whack shit. You get what I'm trying to say? And I kind of like having that, that in between of like, yo, let's actually have the discussion of why so and so feels such and such. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, of course, IDK and fucking Denzel Curry. Of course, you're gonna get some guaranteed banger with this. But if I go broke, I'm gonna do it again. Mm. That was the thing, yeah. I said in the video, I didn't say Tribe Called Quest is like bad. I think I said they're not so great. It was like the Beethoven Lucy thing. It's like, they're not so great. I feel like people are just uncritical of them, and I'm like, all the time I'm hearing the like silly things they're saying, and it's like, are we just gonna act like we didn't hear that just because the beat is nice? Like, that's the way I always felt, you know? But like I said, there's still really good stuff that I actually really do enjoy, amongst stuff that I gotta tolerate because it's like, well, that beat actually is really good, but I can't act like I didn't hear that part. But the goodness of the beat outweighs it, you know. Like I'm not gonna be putting on like Check the Rhyme. I'm actually going to include on here because I do think the beat of that does outweigh the. But what was there's Check the Rhyme because I love that bit. You know what I'm saying? You can't front on that bit. Oh god. Okay, so I had to include this one just because it's like, again, awful lesson as a song of what they're saying. Oh, I'd rather live and confusing you. I want to stay in their pussy, but I don't want to be honest with you. And it's like, but The Weeknd is such a bastard because it's so leaned into with this hook that it's like, but it feels so intentional that I get what he's doing. You know, it's not like a sort of like, what is it? He's rather lighter. No, wow, that's such a dick move. It's like, yeah, he knows it's a dick move. He actually really does it. He really doesn't care. And then try to listen again. Maybe there's something I'm not hearing. Yeah, that was nothing. That was absolutely nothing. The whole time I'm like, I'm waiting to hear something interesting that'll be like, ooh, that's a fun flip. Ooh, you dastardly son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I get why you're like, oh, he's so slick. But like, there's nothing. It's just The Weeknd just being the bastard that he is, but in that way that feels so like, ooh, it needed a dope rap verse to like flip this around. You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh shit. Where's my motherfucker? this being. See, this is the thing. It's like the Weeknd is clearly doing the like I'm a bastard like Drake take. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, he's an asshole. But it's like it's such a good character study as a song that it still works as something that's enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's levels to this shit. There's balances to this shit. You know. Well, Animal King said Eminem, if both your mom dying, oh wow, and Haley being pregnant, oh, it doesn't get you focused with punchlines on your next album. I don't know what will. I mean, I thought the boy was retired. I thought he's not doing anything else. I thought he's done. But holy shit, that would be quite a track. What? Look, I'm not saying we want to exploit anyone's pain, you know, no one has to do what they don't want to do, but he's made quite a big thing about his mom, and it would be a lot. But, you know, he has already kind of done the makeup with his mom track, so, you know, who knows. Oh, Axel Lloyd said, did you see that picture of what Kendrick was wearing to record like that? Boy was wearing Sunday clothes to go catch a body real quick. This man was like, I just got out of praise of the Lord. Let's do it. That's it. I like this Jack Harlow joke. I'm always on the fence about Jack Harlow. I feel like sometimes he can be heartfelt and really do something that's interesting. This track where he sounds like he's like, oh, it sounds like there's someone who's, you know, really afraid of like using him. And then what was that other track? JACKKXL like who gives a fucking shit? Woo! No, I need to. I'm scared to leave you. Because I know I need to. I know I need to. I know I need to. Oh yeah, no, wait. Kendrick did release. He released an untitled song exclusively to his Instagram account. So he did drop that. And again, it makes you feel like, okay, so is there something, you know what I'm saying? Are you trying to push yourself as this person who's, you know, gonna save the superhero saving the game? Again, you know, he said he's not your savior and whatnot, but like, I understand from a track like that, someone going like, well, like it feels like we're going beyond the music. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, I don't know if it's just the 4 diss tracks that he did. It's like I see that just kind of being like, oh, well, I was doing this to like, come on, we in some shit. We started off. He literally tells him I was keeping it PG for the first 2 tracks. Then you want to go at family members? Okay, nigga, let's fucking talk. You know what I mean? That's what that felt like that was all about at the end of the day, you know. This Coil the Ray track, I genuinely like, again, look, me doing the absolute best of hip hop, you know, a lot of it is going through guys who like, I don't typically like, but like, if they do something good, I'm not going to act like I don't hear it, you know what I mean? Again, fucking logic, you know? Again, not necessarily. And I feel like he overuses the Spike speaker voice. Look, we all understand that guy's voice is cool as shit. You know what I mean? He used it for every one of your fucking projects. You know? That said, I feel like this still works. Because again, what he's saying here is interesting. Man. The journey of achieving those jewels was where his happiness was. It was like, oh, you know, like someone really having that realization, you know? And I like that. Not if I go pop, then I go right. I went pop, then I got left. Yeah, real shit. Mm. Course will never rock Marciano drop. You already know how it goes. Let's mention, do that list. Oh yeah, somebody requested a best of Will Smith recently, so we're gonna see how that goes. Look. Let's go. Uh, 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 uh. Ah, la 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 la. It's so crazy to hear that original. Actually sounds kind of silly. I feel like this is like mastered the. I don't know if it's like slow rap or halftime rap. You know what I'm saying? Like Tone Loc was also doing it. You know where it's like, it's not really about like a hype flow and da da da. It's like chill, almost beat poetry. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, look, even with my concerns and issues I have with their lyricism, a lot of the times I can still acknowledge, track like this is still fun. You know what I'm saying? You the ever bomb, you gotta put me. Especially the outro is weird. I just recently listened to a podcast that was really cool that went into talking about how they made the electric relaxation beat that was really fucking cool. If I could get a second to find where it is. Oh my god. Never mind. I'm trying to find it. So brothers doing. It's called One Song. Yeah. It's a bit of an uneventful title, but it's called One Song. Look up the One Song podcast. They had a really good episode where they showed the mix, how they were able to replicate the beat of electric relaxation. Psychology 101 Tech 9 Thoughts. I know you like tech. Let me go see. What did I think of it? Psychology. Is that the one where it's like the collabs with a whole bunch of people? I don't really dig those as much because it's like, a whole bunch of other people on it. But I think that is the one with. Yep, this is the Tech 9 collab album. But it has Midwest Choppers. That one's good. He has, he could be a little, not necessarily gimmick rap, but sort of ringing around a certain simple premise that he kind of tries to make into a slogan. With sorry and shit. And what was the other one? I thought there was another one on here, but Red Nose and Areola are classics. You know what I'm saying? So can't hate on that. But I don't think it's a 100% solid enough project to like stand on its own. But it definitely gave us some unmitigated bangers. Now see, I always love this. That that drum and bass combo there. But then it was always that thing, like I said, as a kid, like hearing this track and being like, wait, hearing the lyrics themselves and being like, well, this is kind of disappointing. Like, I love, like, I really love this bass line. Like, it. And that. Like, I love the backing beat of this. And as a kid, I always loved it. But it was that disappointing thing I had of when I was a kid and, like, I'm listening and then trying to hear, like, oh, wait, there's not really a lot going on to this. He's just got to say it stuff. And it's not that there's absolutely no, ability to Tribe Called Quest or anything like that. It's just I feel like a lot of it is, maybe you could say he was the original like vibing MCs. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a really dope voice. Of course, it's really cool. And people dig it. You know what I mean? Um, and alone. 80 records, how many people are shady? See, there's that lyric, like, that's the sort of, like, slogan bit right there that was like, oh, okay, I get why that was, like, a hit. But the whole song in general is, like, on the other things, like, hip hop, or... And it's interesting that he said it, because it's like, I always felt like A Tribe Called Quest was that perfect fusion of, like, underground feel, because it's, like, using its own, like, unique style, but like mainstream because it's like, well, it's kind of fun, fancy few rhymes. You're not really supposed to think that deeply about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's better than Doodoo and she's a doodoo and a cockapoo. Indeed. I can't remember what track that was though. Oh, and of course we gotta give it up for this one. Here we go, yo. Someone's scenario. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Someone's scenario. Of course, you got this track with well, it's actually with what's the name of the group? What the hell is the name of that group that Busta Rhymes was in? Case of the PTA. What was that track? Like Leaders of the New School. That was the name of it. Yeah, Leaders of the New School. What an ambitious rap group title for a group that no one really remembers outside of Busta Rhymes. And it's so funny because Busta Rhymes is such a like, not like, oh man, deep, thought provoking. Da da da. It's like, nah, he's the party guy. Brown. Ripping and romping at Compton. Like one of the first songs that used Cackalack, which is interesting for it to talk about North Carolina. He said, "Do you fuck with Mobb Deep and Bone Thugs?" Bone Thugs, of course, because I always felt like their stuff was really creative. Now I can feel a little samey after. Like I think to me they're like a one album wonder because that first album, of course there was the EP before, but that first album is absolutely fucking incredible and nigh untouchable, except for the original mix of Crossroads. No, you needed that remix. The unique original isn't as good, but you need the music video version. But yeah, after that, like I enjoy a lot of the like the solo stuff, like the Ghetto Cowboy. I enjoy Crazy Bones, Father and stuff like that. But like yeah, they're definitely like a solid rap group, and they're an interesting like idea that's like unlike anyone else, and it's fascinating how they like survive throughout the ages. You know what I'm saying, as a rap group. But like while they're definitely solid, like they're not like what I go to all the time. They're a very specific color that I definitely enjoy. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely like passively. I think I enjoy Bone Thugs more than I would enjoy Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep just doesn't do it for me. Mobb Deep has always felt like less creative Wu-Tang to me. Like it's just like yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. It's like Wu-Tang is more guys. There's a lot more variety. It's interesting things jumping out at you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, of course we had to get to this one. Relax yourself, girl. Please sit down. For the longest time, I always thought he was saying, relax yourself, girl. Ease that pain. And it's so funny because when I listened to the podcast, for the one song that they talked about this, I thought one of them was gonna say the thing I said, but everyone had a different one. It was like, relax yourself, girl. It was like two completely different things, and it's like it's so crazy how this sample gets everyone to think a completely different thing. But yeah, I was like, I always thought he was saying, relax yourself, girl, ease that pain. What did you think this song was? I gotta know, because every time it's different. It's always like a slightly different variation than I would have ever expected. It's like, seriously? Yeah, Thuggish Bone been my alarm for the past few years. Why isn't it verse of the month? Come on, get that money. I don't get down like that. Oh, let's see. Like I like this the way they do the three repetitions of the measures instead of four. And they do that a couple of times in a way that I love. Like, that is what I love about them. The interesting, like, atmosphere that you get in with the music. That's what's always been cool about them. But, like, the actual lyricism has always been like, blasé. Never ever of mice. It ain't nothing nice. It ain't nothing nice. You fuck with A$AP Rock? Oh, come on now. Of course I do. As a matter of fact, he was the other guy I was planning on doing a best of with. Because I was thinking, okay, I give these playlists to the patrons, basically. They get these playlists, for when I do, like, best of this, best of that. And I was thinking of doing Q-Tip and A$AP Rock. Well, Q-Tip's... He's like he's like the idea of the abstract rapper, but he doesn't really, go really that abstract. It's where he's just random, you know what I mean? And like, I'm driving my abstract car. This abstract thing goes abstract far. Like that's the extent of Q-Tip's abstractness. He's the abstract. It's more just like he just kind of does beat poetry sometimes. But A$AP Rock is the true sort of like I don't even know if it's abstract. It's so specific that it makes it feel abstract sometimes, because you're just getting lost in the soup of the words that he's saying. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that originally, but I decided let me just do Oh yeah, because I want to do the best of the new like March shit. You know, like hey, let's talk about what's going on now. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm always trying to, present that balance of like, look, whack music's always existed, good music has always existed. The reason why it's harder to tell with the past is that we remember the better stuff, and the shitty stuff is just coming out along with the good stuff now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about that at the end of the day. But yeah, so let's just talk about it: the good music, the bad music of the past and today. You know what I'm saying? Let's get with it and act like we want it. Yeah. And again, I gotta give it up for this one. Not the best track, but that bass line. And Busta Rhymes used just that Pasha meme used just perfectly. Just look your wind up, yeah. Hey. What is he saying? Licks, boy, on your backside. When do we go? What's my name was asking? I like my raps. Like Tudell's shit. Like every now and then they go with like, oh, that's a fun one. You know what I mean? But it's never like a consistent, Yeah. But yeah, For those who get, it goes 1, 2, 3. It's like, okay. Like this ain't the early '80s, What's going on? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And that's the thing about this track too. It always feels weird where it's just like, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And then, oh my god, oh my god. It's like, it just feels like it doesn't fit what's happening. You know what I mean? And then it's just like barely an 8-bar phrase, and it's like, what? Now we're already back to the, oh my god, oh my god. It's like, well, where was it? You know what I mean? It doesn't feel. There's not a lot in the verse to make you go, oh my god, over. But the hook is so over the top that it's like, oh my god, oh my god. And of course, Busta Rhymes looking incredible in the fucking video. But am I excited for Will Smith's return to music? I mean, I guess. It feels like he's just at a fucking point, in his life where he's like, you know what, let's just do what we want. He's divorced, he's living his best life, and I hope he does, because it feels like he was dealing with a lot. Oh, and of course. And of course, shout out to the Wayans brothers for using electric relaxation as their theme song. Like, oh man, talk about the perfect show. You got the perfect, you know what I'm saying, like cast, and you got the perfect humor at the perfect time. You got the perfect theme song. I just want to watch that show right now. That's just a show you can just passively watch. I'm about to just throw that on my motherfucking queue right goddamn now. Wait a minute. I love this feel right here where it feels like it really does feel like he's traveling when he says, let's take to the Queen's side. What's that? Rep the role. I love how he brings that up. He's just like, you can be black, you could be black and not, you know what I'm saying, be down for the cause. And you could be white and not be down for the racism bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, I do like the bringing shit up like that up, Do that. Is someone knocking? All right, hold on. Hey, let's not make it the last. With the mic in my hand. Hey, 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 hey. Like I said, I enjoy the especially the tracks like this with the 3/4 time, like the unresolving the chord progressions that never like land in a tonic and are just kind of like in that middle place of like, you get that feeling of floating, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, it's Superman. So that's what I mean. It's like, I feel like, of course, people always stereotypify like what someone's opinion about something is, but yeah, like I'm not like a Tribe Called Quest hater. I just don't think they're that great on a lyric wise thing. But I feel like when it comes to hip hop, of course, you can be an all rounder or you can be like focused on certain things. You know what I'm saying? But I just noticed that growing up as someone who cared about lyrics and would see people put Big Daddy Kane right next to Tribe Called Quest, and I was like, huh? But like when I listen to Big Daddy Kane, that shit is fucking dope. And when I listen to Tribe Called Quest, it's like they're fun, I guess. Yes, yes. I have a stream of Will Smith coming up. I definitely do. So we're going to be getting the absolute best of Will Smith as well as listening to his new album when it drops. So look, we're doing a bit live streaming, people. You know what I'm saying? It's the day that album drops. Yes, Truth, Hope, Love has requested for me to do this. Is this is the shit that was always exciting to me about being a content creator. It's like, you guys actually do want to hear my shit. Like, as soon as it goes, like, yeah, bro, let's get your brain on that. Let's get your brain on that. How you feeling it? Like, I enjoyed the musical sport of, competitive sport of music listening, I guess. Oh, this. Nate. Always sounds so awkward. Like the way it cuts off right before the words someone who's talking would normally say it. But anyways, oh shit! Wait, we gotta play this one. Why is it not playing? Hold on. What the fuck? What the fuck? No, I want to hear this song. I love Hot Sex on a Platter. Wait. Why can't I hear it? Because this is the track that, like, they don't. This is the last, like, really dope Tribe Called Quest song before, like, their hiatus. What's the? Is it not playing? Why is it not playing? No, I want to hear Hot Sex on a Platter. Uh, hmm. Oh, you're really not gonna get to hear it. Wait. What happens if I skip? Oh no, it's not playing anything suddenly. What's going on? Oh wow. I gotta end and restart. I'm listening to this. Yeah, this is happening now. Oh, goddamn. Yeah, these joints. Hold up. Hold up. By the way, while I'm waiting, a new Boondocks podcast exclusively to the Patreon. Get with it, act like you want it. I'm gonna start uploading a couple of clips just to be able to whet the appetite. But yeah, you boys working on some new shit to get your mouth watering. Some new music, some new tracks, some new hip hop, new podcasts as well. Like I said, we're gonna be reviewing motherfucking where's the other track? Gonna be reviewing the best of excuse me. What the fuck was I talking about? I'm trying to do like two things at once. Excuse my internet manners. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting up the absolute best of this playlist afterwards, as well as the other one with Will Smith before the end of the month. It's the charge with patrons. But yeah, and we're gonna play this music, see if it works. Hold on. Okay, it's working. Cool. Okay, and we're gonna play the next one, and it's working. Cool. And we're gonna play the goddamn hot sex on the platter. It's not playing. What the fuck? Okay, We the People is playing. Let me put it in next again and see what happens. I'm trying to hear that shit. That shit is a fucking bopper right there. I love that little symbol, the ramen noodle. Each one doesn't show that you can waste time with. You must go. All the best, you must go. Boys, loves, and gays. Boy, we hate your ways. All you bad folks, you must go. Like, that's a hook right there. And then, unfortunately, Fife Dog died before this album dropped, yeah. It's such a sad, like, creepy sort of thing, because the name of the album is We Got It From Here, Thanks for Your Service, and it's like, and he died right before, and it's like, so weird. We got your little business rubbing on a little kid, dreaming of a world with no division and equality. It's like, oh, okay, we got girls jacking off to the idea of equality. That's some epic lyricism right there. Fucking block. Woo. We must go. You must go. You must go. Guns and gates. Boy, we hate your way. All you bad folks, you must go. They're really not gonna play Hot Sex on a Platter for me. This is fucking awful. Okay, well, never fucking mind. Here's this generation. Fuck it. God damn. God damn. It maybe it's just like I wasn't a part of that time, so I'm not really enjoying the way they're just kind of like laying out. Because as I listen to this track, like it's not necessarily that it's abstract, but it's kind of what they do in terms of like they're reflecting the world around them through the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what that track felt like. It was just like I don't feel like there was a specific coherent message, but it was an interesting just rolling around of like the reality of the world in terms of like a lyrical Koyaanisqatsi on this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Also, is that Busta Rhymes? Of course, before we get out of here, I had to play these two Q-Tep joints. Oh God, in my itty bitty world. You always such vibrant thing, vibrant thing. Hey, what's it? I think I included this on my 99 list, yeah, when I did that live stream. So I remember I was talking about the fact that it's called Vibrant, and it's like, what the fuck does that mean? And it's like, I think it was a combination of him saying like someone who's vibrant and someone who's like vivacious. And because it's the 90s, you don't really have dictionaries like available or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, what word is that? It's like vibrant, you're vivacious, It's like a copacetic thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, tell me situation. You know, you was the English. Lady. Yeah. Shit, yeah. Mm-mm. Like when I hear this track, it actually sounds like, you know, a dude who has a fun relationship with a girl that he loves. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what these next two tracks. Like this one feels like the really fun, like oh we're hanging out, having a night out of town. You know what I'm saying? And the getting up track feels like the oh it's the morning after. You know we're having a you know what I'm saying, making breakfast and whatnot. You know. Oh here we go. Don't be out in the world. Oh, girl. Let me get up. Let me be getting up. The night is bright and night should be getting up. You be getting up. You be getting up. The night is bright tonight. You should be getting up. And again, the master of the three measure beat, you know. Mm. That rotating three measure beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, then repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then repeat. Like it's so awesome. Getting up, to be getting up, getting up. Big towards you. You got me too. So colorful. And not one love. Oh yes we did. No one could do it better. Let me sing together. The number one MC man. Getting up, let me getting up. The night is right, come on, we should be getting up. We should be getting up, should be getting up. Tonight is right, come on, we should be getting up. Well, yeah, that Will Smith stream is coming soon. Like I said, patreon.com/rapcritic if you want to get with that new Boondocks episode for Granddad's fight. Always end up having a good conversation with the Boondocks. Like we always do. Like every time I do a recording, I'm always like, I don't know how this is going to come out. Like, I hope we have something to say. And then every time it's like, no, yeah, we can talk about that. And then we can talk about that, actually. Yeah. Content creation in the modern world, huh? It's beautiful. The human condition and all that fun, sexy stuff. Anyways. That's the live stream. You know, look forward to some more fun stuff coming down the pike in the future. You know, you boys always got something fun going on. I got some new music I'm working on that I'm feeling really good about. And, you know, it's just going to be fun. You know what I'm saying? So get with it, act like you want it. Appreciate y'all coming through for the stream. Let me kick Superman's ass real quick. Let me dark side this with The anti-life equation will be mine. Yeah. But until that next stream, good people, remember, time waits for no man. Peace.